Hello everyone and welcome to the Wildwood Tarot. So today we are doing a reading for you on what kind of magical abilities do you possess. We are curious to find out any sort of latent magical abilities, any sort of abilities that you didn't realize were magical that perhaps you can develop further in order to benefit yourself and others. Those types of questions. So let's go ahead and pull cards for each pile. I am getting this top one for pile 2, this one for pile 3, actually this one for pile 4. And then we'll go ahead and reveal each one. So for pile 1, we have completion. In pile 1, you have the Peacock ore. Pile 2, the mystical Shaman. In pile 2, you have the Citrine. Pile 3, flow. In pile 3, you have this Labradorite heart. Pile 4, the lower world. In pile 4, you have the moss agate. So go ahead and meditate on either your pile selection. If you are drawn to more than one, you're more than welcome to watch multiple piles. Whenever you know which pile you'd like to watch or piles, you can go to the timestamp below. There will be a pinned comment as well as timestamps in the description. And I will see you in your reading. Hello, beautiful pile number 1. You guys have a wonderful energy already coming off both your stone and your cards. Actually getting just like this sense of joy, and the message coming through is that you guys have a strong ability to heal through happiness, through your presence and being able to live in the moment and spread that even throughout a room, even throughout a community. You guys have quite a powerful energy, and especially when you are holding that essence of joy, things change for the better around you, and that's definitely a powerful magic. So let's see what else we have here. So we have the crone in winter. We have healing. Wow, definitely you have a healing magic. We have frustration. This is the 5 of Swords. We have the King of Cups or King of Vessels in this deck, which is the Eel. I see you kind of swimming through the waters of your emotions here in a positive way. We'll talk about that. 3 of Stones, which is the 3 of Pentacles, and in this deck the keyword is creativity. And 10 of Cups, happiness. What did I tell you? Yeah, a really powerful magic through your happiness, your power of happiness here. Wow, the Fool. Okay. And adventure. Beautiful. Yeah, those go very well together. So one of the magics that you guys possess, whether you are consciously aware of this yet or not, is that you're able to let the past be the past. And in a way, you're able to teach that and model that to others in a way that allows them to close doors that need to be closed and jump into the new and celebrate and be more present. I see you here giving this power to others. See all these animals gathering around this figure here in this winter landscape. I see you being able to come to others in a time when they may be even in great sadness, when they may feel like it's a winter or a dark night of the soul for them. And you glow, you emanate this radiance of peace and joy and light, whether you're aware of this or not. And you inspire other people to let that go, that frozen sense that, if they've had past traumas or issues in relationships or struggles with other people, I see you teaching them to complete a cycle, learn a lesson, move past any sort of blocks or frustrations. I see you teaching other people. You may be a spiritual or you may be a physical, physical therapist is coming through too, because there's a lot of strength in teaching people to embody their emotions. And a lot of times emotions get stuck in the body and can cause physical ailments. Physical therapists are actually one of the professions that helps that energy to move through the body, who, they're able to locate energetic and emotional blocks and teach people to move in new and improved and different ways that heal past stuckness, stuck energy, repressed energies even. So I see you having this ability, whether you're a physical therapist or not. You could even be a yoga teacher, a dance teacher, somebody who teaches through meditation. You could be a counselor of some sort as well, or a doctor. You could be in the medical profession or field. You could be in a spiritual field. Whatever it is, right? And if you don't resonate with any of those professions, that's totally fine too. This is a magical ability that you have. So whether you essentially monetize that ability or not, you still have this ability. And whether it's being actively expressed or not, people are able to pick up on this energy from you. And by tapping into it yourself and cultivating it, you're going to help other people move through their emotions, move into deeply repressed energy within themselves and move through it. And I think one of the ways that you do this too is you help other people express their creativity. So you may be, one of the magics that you possess that's coming through here is an ability to creatively express emotions. So you may have a special magic that you express through something like painting, other types of art, maybe even molding something with your hands like clay. I'm getting an image of somebody painting a mural and of it like healing a part of a city that was perhaps experiencing difficulty, challenges, negative energy, and you bring this positive light, joy, sense of adventure, sense of pride, sense of being able to move forward to areas in your community that are really needing it. You spread happiness. It's quite amazing. So I think another magic that you possess is, so there's a type of magic where it reminds me of the story of Persephone, queen of spring, goddess of spring, who goes into the underworld to help souls find their way, lost souls, souls of the dead, to find their way safely, giving them passage. And, this image is making me think of that. quite a bit of the energy coming off your cards has this essence of being a goddess of spring, a god or goddess of, bringing people safe passage. You have this magic about you where you aren't afraid of the cycles of life. You are tapped in and you allow things to die as they need. So that could be like a past habit. You allow it to go into the past and you move forward, striking into new territory as is needed. You may even have this strange and yet quite amazing ability to know exactly when it's time to make a physical move, to try a new activity in your life. Like, other people may look at you and think that you are impulsive at times and reckless and risk-taking, but you are tapped into a deep cycle. I feel like you intrinsically know moon cycle magic. You intrinsically are tapped into the season magic, so the circle of the wheel, and you are also tapped into your own personal cycle magic. So you know when to put energy and time into something and develop something from a little seed, and you know when to let it die and pass out of your life. And sometimes things can be rebirthed, and sometimes things are put to rest for eternity, right? And you move on. And I see that you're able to do this. It's almost like other people might be frustrated at letting things go, and you are able to navigate this type of change smoothly without being essentially caught by any of those nets or arrows of frustration. And not only that, but one of your magics is that you bring a sense of adventure to change. I see you being able to cultivate magic from water. So what I mean by this is that whether it is snow, whether it is rain, whether it is a body of water like a river or a lake or an ocean, you have a way of tapping into the knowledge that that water brings. You know, water connects everything in the world. Water is in every being. Water is in every landscape. Water is in the air. Water is in the sky, the clouds, deep in the earth. And water is constantly in a cycle, right? Rain, evaporation, whatever type of water cycle is happening around you on any given day at any given moment. It's as if you are able to absorb knowledge from that water. You're very tapped in to that magical essence in water that knows everywhere it's been and everywhere it's going. And so in a way, it gives you this global sense of energies. You're able to pick up on and read patterns, and it's almost as if you can taste the energy of what is going on in the world at any given time. It's as if, you know, you may have noticed if you watch a news story, you almost have like a sour taste or a sweet taste in your mouth, depending on what kind of news it is. And sometimes you may have strong emotions that come into you or come through you, and you may not know where they come from. I feel like you're pretty good at letting those pass, but if you're not realizing the significance of them, the message that's coming through is that you're very much tapped into the currents of energy that are coming through around you. And it's really interesting. I'm actually getting like the message that part of your magic, one, you may need to cleanse with water more often than other people. So taking long showers or soaking in long baths, even going swimming in a lake, or going to natural hot springs. All of those types of things can be deeply healing for you and purifying, and allow you to kind of refresh and wash away any emotions that have kind of gotten stuck throughout your week or your day. Another message here is that I feel like even if you are like walking through the rain or through fog, or you step in a puddle or something like that, it's as if you get little flashes of insight. It's like those little droplets of water give you little messages, and you have quite this magical ability to even send your own messages via water. Very interesting. I'm not sure exactly what that's about. It's as if you can, like, when you're in this joyful, adventurous, healing energy, like when you feel like you have that healing energy to give is what I mean. And, getting there may be accomplished by like what I talked about already with showering, purifying, bathing in water. But when you feel in this adventurous, joyful, new beginning, healing type of energy, you're able to spread that. I see like a ripple effect through water. So you like walking through the rain, or even like being near a river or a body of water, is actually going to, it's as if you have this purifying effect on the energy of the water around you. Walking through snow might be like quite a magical experience for you. And part of that is that your energy actually reforms the crystalline structure of the snowflakes that come within your energy sphere, within your aura. Really, really cool reading, guys. See if we're getting any other messages from these cards. I'm getting the message to read a little bit about this adventure card, this Samphire. I think that there might be some additional messages within this plant medicine for you. So I'm going to pause the video, take a quick look at the guidebook, and I'll come back with some messages. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up in case you'd like to take a screenshot and read it as well. So it talks about this plant growing along coastlines, and that it's quite briny. So it obviously absorbs some of that seawater, that salt from the ocean. And that, it talks about how it's a reminder of the captivating power of the ocean and the many possibilities the world offers. So it's very interesting, right? Because this is very connected to water. It's actually probably one of the few plants in the book that talks about the ocean and kind of pulls that essence of water and the ocean into the meaning that's conveyed. And so, one, there's a strong message coming through that a wonderful way to cultivate your magic, your personal magic, would be to take an adventure that involves some sort of sailing, getting out on the water, whether that's the ocean or an inland lake somewhere close to you, or that, perhaps you have to travel a little bit, but even camping lakeside or, a day on the beach. There's also a message that going overseas to like even an island or a beachside adventurous type of new place somewhere is going to really light up and restore a lot of this magic, this light, this joy inside of you. I think it will also get you closer to that water connection that you have, where you pick up on and also influence that water. And in fact, I'm seeing that it's almost like it comes through as a destined type of thing for you to do, to go to the ocean when you can, whether it's once in your life or many, many times, and to cultivate a sense of adventure and joy while you're there, and try to be as present in the moment. And you have a healing effect on, the largest source of water in our world, the oceans, right? And the oceans are interconnected as well. And so it doesn't really matter what ocean or what beach or however you want to get to that ocean, energy. It doesn't really matter what ocean you get to, but I do see that it's some part of your magical purpose is to help heal through the ocean, through getting to the ocean and having that presence and having that impact on those essentially water molecules that are connected to everything, everywhere in the entire world, okay? Even into our atmosphere, right? So, okay, pile number 1. And so I actually just saw 2222 as well. So definitely there's a message coming through about the power of 2s, and that if you are trying to make decisions about how to cultivate this magic within you, I think that seeing 2s and even 4s, and 2s and 4s together, but especially repeating 2s, is going to be a strong indicator for you from your magical guides that, it's a nod. It's a, 1, we hear you and we see you and we're here to support you. 2, whatever it is that you are thinking about at that moment, when you see, it is a nod that is like the correct direction to go in. Okay? All right, pile number 1, thank you so much for joining us in this reading today. Best wishes to you and your magical pursuits. I'd love to hear any comments. If you like this reading, please like it. And if you'd like to support the channel and be notified of future readings, subscribing is one of the very best ways you can support these readings. So thank you so much for everyone who came today, and have a great rest of your day or evening, wherever you are. Take care. Hello, pile number 2. You have such a powerful energy. You are a deep thinker, a philosopher, someone who attracts listeners. You have quite the ability to tell stories. Yeah, there's such a strong message coming off of this that is something that you need to know about yourself if you don't already. So one of your magical powers is the power of story. It's the power of your voice. It's the power of imparting knowledge to those around you. You have a magical quality when it comes to storytelling and when it comes to passing wisdom through the power of your voice. Let's see what you have as far as your cards. the releasement. Beautiful. Wow, the sage. Yeah, so that's very much enforcing that message as well. The forest lovers, so this is the lover card, also known as the choice card. 3 of arrows, jealousy, so that's 3 of swords. I see where this is going. The shaman, wow. Okay, again, you have the magician, which is the shaman in this deck. So that's a 3-time reinforcing of this message of you being a manifester, of you being someone who speaks things into being, who passes knowledge to other generations, to other people through telling stories. 4 of stones, protection. Yeah, beautiful. And then we have the ace of cups. Wow. Yep. And plantain, nourish. Okay. Amazing. Okay. You guys are the magical beings. It's as if your whole essence is made of magic. You may be someone who was born into this world and almost feel as if you're living in like a magical realm at times, in like another realm. It's as if you see things, you're tapped into spirit, you're tapped into, you have a direct line to universal knowledge. Yeah. You're really, really powerful. One of the magics that you have is to enforce boundaries, enforce healthy boundaries. You help to protect others from the darkness of this world. And by doing that, you're able to look deeply into darkness and withstand it, because you understand human nature at such a deep level, and you're able to, like you see into the dark heart of people, and yet you're protected from that energy simply by being tapped into spirit. It's as if you can withstand all of this darkness and transmute it into lessons that turn that darkness into light. You may even have a special magic about you of, I'm going to say matchmaking, but what I mean by that is you can look at people and you can sense, it's as if you can see the threads that tie people together. You can look at a couple and see into their future, as well as understand the past and how they got there, what drew them together and what will sustain them or break them. And that's not to say that you interfere or, that's any sort of like bad thing, right? Like you have this very strong, nourishing energy about you. And so I think you are able to hold space, and people may come to you for relationship advice, and you can help them to nourish a healthy connection or release a negative connection, right? An unhealthy connection. I think you've probably talked to people through issues around jealousy. You're very good at getting to the heart of a matter. And you see people, right? You see into souls. And so one of your magics is you may be a poet as well. I'm very much getting that you have a way with words that cuts to the essence of a message. You know, I'm getting like the energy of like Rumi, where somebody could read 4 lines of a poem and suddenly get an insight into why they're not happy and what they need to do to change. Someone else might read a poem of yours or listen to words from you and realize that they're in love with somebody and that they should go initiate that relationship. It's as if your words, whether they're on the written page or coming from your mouth, every word has a magic quality to it that when you send it out into the universe, it changes people at a deep level. It inspires true action, good boundaries. It inspires people to align with their emotional self. They're able to pass through doors that were locked to them before. They're able to let go of past traumas. They're able to let go of issues in relationship to other people and be free. You set people free with your word. Children may be very, very drawn to you. You may have this essence about you, and if you don't have this yet, I'm getting a message that this is a magic for you to nourish and to cultivate. This ability of yours to tell stories in a way that engages but also teaches is just, it's like literal magic to children. Like I can just see you with children sitting around at your feet, staring up at you in this adoring, enthralled way, and you're like weaving the magic of the universe into this fascinating story that as it goes, it imparts wisdom into these little minds. And yeah, I think they'll always remember stories that you tell them, even if they're very young. When they hear them, it will become, oh, sorry about that, my dog pushed his bone off his bed and it hit the floor. But so I think everything that happens in a reading has a meaning, right? So it's as if like the stories that you tell them drop into their very soul, and those stories become a reference point for them throughout their lives. They'll think back on lessons. They may even not remember like who they heard them from or where, but that magic that you are giving to children or whoever hears your stories, but especially young children, they're going to be able to use that to get through difficult times or to turn challenges into lessons that turn into blessings that get them further in their path in life. You know, this citrine, I think you have a strong resonance with this as well as with your sacral chakra. I think you're really, one of your magics may be to, one, tap into the power of your own sacral chakra, but also to help heal the sacral chakras of those that come into your proximity and hear your words. And so you're able to help others heal their sense of passion for life, They're tapping into their deep knowledge of what it means to be in relationship to another person, in a physical sense, in a sensual sense, in that spiritual connection through our, our center of sacred knowledge of being in relation to another person. You may even be someone who could be like a love guru or a love counselor, or even like a sex therapist, or somebody who helps others to heal through, I'm getting like tantric healing, getting in touch with their body in a very specific way, right? Like able to bring healing to that sensual side of themselves. You have no, it's like you're this wise person who realizes that all of the hang-ups and misconceptions that we have around sensuality, sexuality, that all of those are just kind of forced on us by misguided ways of seeing the world, and that all of that is healthy and natural and powerful. It's an essential part of our humanness and of how we relate to others and relate to ourselves, and stay in touch with our sacred path, our sacred purpose in life. The sacral chakra is often how we know which way to go with deep impulses that we get, where we feel drawn, passionate about something, whether it's a path to pursue in career, education, hobbies, developing a skill, or if it's in love, relationships, establishing boundaries, standing up for ourselves in healthy ways in relation to others and to each other. Whatever it might be, our sacral chakra, if it's closed down, we lose a lot of touch with that deep knowledge and ability to really stand up for ourselves in those ways. And I think you have this magic of almost like snapping people out of going the wrong way, and snapping people into tapping into that sacral center and the knowledge, the sacred knowledge that comes from that. Okay. Beautiful. So I do want to take a quick look at your plant and see if there's any additional messages here. So I'm going to take a look at the guidebook, and I will be right back with any messages. Okay, so one message coming through from this particular card, this particular oracle card for you, is that you help to wake people up to the abundance of resources that are already right in front of their faces, are available all around them. You help them to release from any blindness of seeing reality. It's as if you can you have this magic where you can snap people out of delusions, snap people out of living in a scarcity mindset, and realize that they have abundance literally at their feet, at their doorstep, and how to access that abundance. So I'm going to let you see this page and the next page in case you'd like to read a bit more about the plantain from this magical guidebook. You can take screenshots here. Okay. Beautiful. So pile number 2, I am seeing that that is your reading today. So thank you so much for joining me here on the Wildwood Tarot channel. I hope to see you back again. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to comment. And if you'd like to support the channel and these free readings, go ahead and subscribe. That's one of the strongest ways that you can support these readings as I do them. All right. I hope to see you again in the future. Pile number 2, take care. Hello, pile number 3. Thank you for joining us here today for what magical abilities that you have. And the energy already coming off of this card is a strong message around your magical abilities having a lot to do with music. I'm seeing that you may be someone who gets messages through song lyrics. You may even be someone who creates music. We'll get more into that message as we go. So we have spells of rose and cacao. Beautiful. Wow, the 9 of Cups. Yeah, this again has kind of that message of like, I feel like you get like downloads through music. You may even give other people downloads through music that you create, or even by like sending someone a song and it's exactly what they needed to like emotionally heal is the message coming through. Really interesting. 9 of Arrows, dedication. Knight of Stones. That's the horse. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Wow. The moon. Moon on water. Wow. 8 of Vessels. This is the 8 of water, 8 of Cups. Rebirth. Wow. 3 of Wands. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, wow. And chamomile. Soothe. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, one very specific message coming through is that if you are someone who identifies with having like a maternal energy about you, of being a parent, being a mother, being someone who cares for, nourishes, feeds, clothes, houses others, and that's something that you have a particular skill in, that is one of your magical abilities. Like you are truly gifted in this ability to bring like a soothing, comforting, it's this feeling of being like wrapped in a loving mother's arms or loving parent's arms, of being truly cared for in a way that like heals any hurts. And I think part of the message coming off of that, because you certainly don't have to identify with being a maternal figure or having a maternal energy or even a desire to have that, but I think that one of the messages coming through here is that you are somebody who helps people to, one, call up anything unhealed, anything that's repressed from a past, and to heal that, to transmute it, to bring it to a place where they can look back on, like the loss of a beloved family member, like an ancestor or somebody that somebody has lost, and you're able to, through your magic, whether this is even like cooking them a homemade meal or brewing them some tea, creating music, playing the exact right music for that moment, you're able to magically help them facilitate moving their emotions past and through that grief, that loss, that sorrow, that pain, into a place where it can almost become a more bittersweet but soothing and like okay, like at peace sense with that past pain. I see that one of your powers, your elemental powers that you're able to tap into, clearly there's a lot of water in your cards, but I'm actually getting a strong message that one of the elemental powers you can tap into is wind, the power of wind, the power of air. And it's as if your magic has that cleansing energy of wind. You know, when a storm comes through or high winds come through, there's always a feeling of fresh, revitalized energy when it passes. You know, your energy, it's as if it has the flavor, your magic, it has the flavor of that feeling after a storm goes through. If you've ever had your windows in your house open during a storm, and afterwards, it's as if you can smell and taste and feel the newness on the air. And everything feels clean and bright and ready to just like begin. But it also feels like at peace and so just like good into your bones. That is the feeling of your magic. That's the feeling that you bring to other people. I feel like you bring a sense of enlightenment as well. I'm really getting a strong sense of you like having this ability to put your magic into something that you give to others, like a physical thing or something that you create or make, like an art, like music, or even like pressed flowers, or like bringing somebody a bouquet of roses. But definitely a strong message of like making like soup or making tea or hot chocolate or coffee, and people like just they get so much comfort and so much peace at such a deep, like throughout their entire being, their entire body, by like literally taking a sip of something that you've crafted for them. I think that people gravitate towards you because of this. This is a huge reason and a huge way that I think you can cultivate that magic for others and also for yourself. You know, making yourself tea when you need to contemplate something, when you need to get some insights. Making yourself hot chocolate when you need some comfort, when you need some self-nurturing. You know, making yourself soup when you need a sense of being filled with like the energy to accomplish something, when you need something hearty in your system so that you have the ability to persist in something that you feel dedicated to. I see that you have a lot of endurance in your energy, in your magic. It's as if you have this steady, strong, it's as if you can tap into a deep well of your magic, and you know at what pace to go so that you don't deplete that well, so that you allow that well to be filled from, the things that you do to nurture yourself and replenish yourself as well. I see that you're actually quite good at getting enough sleep, And of course, if you don't resonate with that right now, I think that your magical guides are telling you that this is one of the best ways that you can cultivate this magic and strengthen this magical ability within yourself, is to get regular and enough sleep, good quality of sleep, practicing good hygiene, good sleep hygiene. So that means like, keeping distractions away from where you sleep, trying to go to bed at the same time every night, or whenever you sleep. If you do like shift work or anything like that, could be not at night, right? But yeah, I see that you really replenish, you kind of come back to this feeling of like fullness of magical energy during the night when you sleep. And it's almost as if every morning you wake up with a full cup, that you are so generous with giving. I see you being a very giving spirit, a very giving person, and your gifts hold so much magic within them. One of your love languages may be gift giving, and you may be extremely blessed at knowing the perfect gift to give someone else. And a message coming from spirit is that other people truly cherish the things that you give to them. You also, so going back to that message around music, I think if you obviously if you already do create music, you know this to some extent, that through the music that you create, you tap into something magical, something universal. It's a universal language that goes beyond words. It goes beyond what we can logically, kind of scientifically figure out. It's a powerful magic music. I also see you being able to tap into this power through dance, through ceremony as well. So you may be part of like a drum circle, or you may be a dance performer, or perhaps you just dance in your living room, or you just dance for fun. But I see that one of the ways that you can cultivate this magic that you possess is through the power of music and dance and ceremony in that way. And so, even if this means just like taking a music class or taking a dance class, I think that what you're able to create, even if you're just beginning, it holds a lot of magic for you, but also very much for others. And if you are an accomplished musician or dancer or both, you've tapped into that magic within you, and the creations that you put out into the world, it's as if you have this ability to put into your music or your dance an essence of what it means to truly live within our own enlightened purpose in this world. And you heal people. You heal them at that point in themselves where they can see clearly, they can see where they're meant to be, how they're meant to feel. It's as if you shine a light into corners that they forgot about within themselves. Places that have gotten dusty, places that have gotten, stale. You bring this cleansing wind in, you blow away that dust, you open the window shutters, you open the doors, you blow off that roof, you open that box. You bring light and wind and new energy into places that have been forgotten within other people. You bring them back to life, literally, like people who've been just going through the motions. It's as if they hear your music, or they see you dance, or they see something that you've produced, or, if you aren't a creator, you still communicate through music in some way. Perhaps you send someone song lyrics, or you send someone a link to a music video and tell them to watch it, right? Something of that sort. But you help, you know exactly how to bring people back to life through music, through dance, through ceremony. And it's really powerful. It's a powerful magic that you possess. Yeah. I see you just having so much insight when you are tapped into music in some way. You might be somebody who always has a song in your head, or always has music on in the background. It may really benefit you at times too to listen to music without lyrics. So instrumental or classical music, music that evokes images of nature, of landscapes. You may even enjoy listening to bird song or nature sounds, in the background. I'm getting those compositions that have whale song incorporated into them, or other sounds of nature, sounds of the ocean, sounds of wind between leaves, All of that could be really, really healing for you to have in your environment. Okay, so final message. We're just going to take a look at your card's message here in the guidebook, this oracle card, this plant medicine. And I'm going to take a look at the guidebook, and I'll be right back with some messages from the guidebook. So hang tight. Okay, so I'm going to hold up this guidebook in case you'd like to take a screenshot and read it on your own later. But one of the messages coming through here is that, one, chamomile tea might actually be really beneficial for you or for others, especially when you prepare it, is the message coming through. If you are pregnant or have friends who are pregnant, chamomile tea, just so you know, isn't recommended because it can cause uterine contractions. But I thought that was a really interesting message to read in the Oracle book, because I do think there is such a strong message here relating to kind of your maternal abilities. Regardless of your gender, you just seem to have a very strong gift in caring for and bringing benefit to others through caretaking of them in some way, even if that's just preparing, a cup of tea, right? It's like you have this comforting, caring essence about you that's communicated through what you make for people. And I know I've already said that, so apologies for repeating it, but it's a really strong message coming through, even from your Oracle cards guidebook there. Okay, so I think that's all the messages that I have for you today, pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this gave you some clarity into your own beautiful abilities. I'm quite impressed by your abilities here, and a little bit envious of your ability to tap into that power of music. Yeah, if you're a musical creator or dancer, or if anything else in this really resonates strongly with you, I'd love to hear any comments, any feedback. Always welcome, no matter what. And if you liked this video, go ahead and like it. And if you'd like to support the channel and be alerted for new videos, subscribing is actually one of the best ways that you can support these free readings and support my channel. So thank you to everyone who's already subscribed and liked and commented. Thank you for sharing all of your beautiful energy. All right, pile 3, I hope to see you again. Take care. Hello, pile number 4. So you have this beautiful card, the Lower Worlds. Oh, we have the Labradorite heart from pile 3 still remaining. So you may have a connection to pile 3, but the message coming through here off of this initial card for you is a message of your energy, your magical essence of being very grounded, very actually connected into the earth, even the soil. You may actually have quite the way with plants. You may also get a lot of your energy by literally standing barefoot in the grass or in soil or taking a hike and really tapping into the sounds and the energy resonating through the earth as you walk. I'm seeing that some of you could even be really gifted at tracking. It's a very specific message, but you may be someone who even enjoys hunting or just enjoys like following animal tracks and even photographing animals or bird watching. So let's see what else your cards tell us here. Yeah. I'm also getting a strong message that you are tapped into ancestral knowledge. It's as if you have a direct connection to your ancestors, even those who've passed on to the other side. So we'll see what else comes through here. Let's get your cards. Wow, the Witch's House. Yeah, you may identify with being like an earth witch or a hearth witch, someone who utilizes the rituals and the magical essence of taking care of your house, taking care of your garden, and really being tapped into like even the seasons, the circle of the year, and putting up like I even see you putting up like different wreaths or different decorations at different times of the year to honor the changing seasons and the changing energies, and to call in fresh energy into your house in spring, and to honor the quiet energy coming in winter, right? Like that sort of magic. You may have a quite close connection with birds or butterflies or other animals, even bees. Okay, so many messages coming through. Let's see. Wow, the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you definitely have a magical connection with the earth, with flowers, with, I just see this like character here with this little cute squirrel just like hanging out, planting seeds together, watching them grow, magically cultivating new life, bringing greenery into existence around you. I think you really love to be surrounded by green things and plants. You may have quite the green thumb, and if you aren't aware of this yet, I think that you're able to cultivate this. So this may be a strong message to you to start tapping into, leaning into, cultivating that knowledge. If you've gotten out of touch with it, I think you still have this latent magic within yourself to have quite the green thumb, to grow a beautiful garden. You may even be able to bring that knowledge and that mastery of cultivating green and growing things to others. So you may be someone who is called to, volunteer at a community garden or teach people by giving, wildflower walks, to photograph, beautiful hidden natural places, to show others the beauty of the natural world and the value in conserving it, right? Like, you have so much magic tied in to nature, to the soil, to earth. All right, let's see what else we have here. Mourning, 7 of Vessels, the 7 of Cups. Again, this very much evokes that feeling of being really tapped into ancestral wisdom. I think you have a lot of magic around. You may even set up, or it may be an advice coming through to set up an altar in your house to honor those who've gone before you, and to even be able to ask them for wisdom, to ask them for their knowledge. You know, your ancestors very much want to open that door, pass that knowledge on to you. And I think you're not afraid of that, right? Where other people might think that's a little spooky or creepy, it's as if you have this awareness of the beauty and the sacredness inherent in honoring your dead, in honoring those who've lived before you and have wisdom to pass into your hands. All you have to do is open your hands and ask for this knowledge, and you will receive it. I think you get a lot of insights when you're actually working the ground or working in your garden. All right, we have the 9 of Bows, Respect. Yeah. Beautiful. 7 of Stones, Healing. Yeah, so much, like, literally healing from, like, laying on earth, from tapping into this wisdom that comes through, you know, the green man, the green woman, the green, like the earth god and earth goddess, right? The hooded man. Wow. Wow. Okay. Judgment. Beautiful. You're so tapped in. Resourcefulness, Huckleberry. Yeah. So you may also, I'm getting a message here that one of your magical abilities is actually to use the healing power of the natural world. So that can be plants, crystals, even like getting specifically like tree magic for some of you, you know, being able to harness the power of, you know, trees can live for many, many years, right? And there's many ancient trees in the world that have been around for generations, even thousands of years, have seen incredible amount of change, have seen the evolution of humans and our impact on the natural world. And I think that you have so much respect for nature. I think that one of your magical abilities is actually to heal any sort of lost respect that other people have for nature. I think you help people get back in touch with why we need to respect and value nature. And that can even be through showing the, you know, usefulness of like using natural medicines, or using, like, having green spaces become a garden instead of like just grass that has, you know, no true value when it comes to the natural world. I think that you bring lost wisdom from our ancestors into the present modern world. And that's one of your deep magics that you are able to cultivate within yourself and others is that you help to bring to light this lost knowledge, this lost connection with the natural world around us. I feel like you could be very resourceful if you cultivate even like, gathering wild plants, wild berries, wild herbs, and teaching others how to do that. That can be one of the most healing ways for people to reacquaint themselves with a connection to the worlds around them and to kind of recognize its value and worth. I see you having like this beautiful garden and children like coming over and learning about herbs and berries and, growing. Excuse me. Apologies for the interruption there. I just needed to drink some water. But yeah, I think that you have such a strong magical gift in imparting knowledge to others through plants. You may be drawn to botany or environmental science or studies. You may be drawn to agriculture. It's interesting too because this moss agate, it resonates really strongly with all of this energy, but an additional energy that we haven't mentioned yet is that it's often known as the midwife's stone. And so you may even be like a midwife or a doula. You may be drawn to that area of helping those who are pregnant or new mothers, new parents, new fathers. There's just a message here of, you could even be like a florist, someone who provides flowers for big events, big transitions in people's lives. People come get flowers from you when they want to send them to new parents, or they want to send them to somebody who's grieving the loss of a beloved family member or friend. Or, you provide flowers for weddings, right? And for birthdays and new beginnings, celebrations of new jobs and accomplishments and all kinds of things. And it's as if you're able to provide that bit of magic that connects those celebrations of life and celebrations of death back to the natural world. You may be very tapped into flower magic and the different types of messages that flowers traditionally convey, right? Like you may know what types of flowers go well with different types of events and meaning that somebody is wishing to convey with their gift of flowers or their purchase of flowers, right? So I'm going to take a look at the oracle, guidebook, that's what I meant for this oracle card, this huckleberry and resourcefulness, and to take a look specifically at those messages, and then I will be right back with messages for you from that. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up in case you would like to take a screenshot of both pages here. So, very interesting message here. It does talk about traditional medicine use, and so I do feel like that's a reinforcement of that message that some of the magical abilities that you have may be tied to that traditional medicine, using plant remedies, that sort of thing. But it also mentions the essentially resistance of huckleberry to domestication by humans. And so it's really interesting, right? Because we talked about like growing a garden and cultivating. I do think that, gathering wild like berries and plants and herbs may be something that really helps to cultivate the magic, your connection to earth magic, and help you to tap into that seasonal, cyclical, circular magic within the changing of the seasons. But also, this really makes me think about that ability that you have to tap into ancestral wisdom. And I think that your soul, your spirit, has always grown up knowing that this way that we live in our modern society is, it's almost as if you've been able to resist a lot of those calls from the modern world of disconnecting from the importance of our natural world. You've been able to stay grounded and stay connected into earth magic, into the importance of the soil beneath our feet that supports all life on this planet, into the importance of clean air and clean water, and fighting climate change. I think that you have been able to grow these strong roots, even if you grew up in a concrete jungle, even if you grew up in a skyscraper, even if you grew up separated from the natural world, you've been able to somehow persist and get back to those earthy roots. And if you don't feel like you've accomplished that, I think that getting to a place where you can spend time in nature, spend time with growing things, spend time with greenery, growing houseplants is a great way to do that if you don't own, a plot of land, right? Volunteering for a community garden can also accomplish that, or foraging. Even, picking dandelions from like a little median that has like dandelions and sweet clover growing on it, right? Like even that. But any of those things are going to help you tap into that magic that you inherently understand. And you speak this language. You speak this language of plant medicine, of ancestral, traditional knowledge. Okay? Really beautiful. Okay. So I think that's all the messages that I have for you today. Pile number 4. Thank you so much for coming to this reading. If you enjoyed this reading, please go ahead and give it a like. I would love to hear any feedback in the comments. If this resonated, be sure to let me know. And if you'd like to support the channel and support these free readings, one of the best ways to do that is by subscribing to my channel. And thank you so much to those of you who've already subscribed, who've liked and commented and shared your beautiful energy here with me. So much love and gratitude to all of you. I hope to see you again in a future reading, pile number 4. Take care.